Now who's this for? People who want something more for themselves. Self-starters, motivated entrepreneurial individuals who take pride in what they do. This is for the intelligent people that are sharp, have great attitude, are coachable, willing to work hard. Who wants to feel valued and appreciated for their contribution and accomplishment. Someone who can follow an action plan. Who this isn't for. The person who thinks they can get rich without any form of work. The person who has nothing to strive for, no ambition. If you are super rich and wealthy, like you got $19 billion in your bank account, if you already have the ability to control your time, waking up when you want, where you want, and do whatever you want. If you are totally clueless and you're happy and content where you are and you're miserable, like you're going to retire broke and you don't care, you have no enthusiasm, no nothing at all. If you have tons of money and say maybe you have some sort of time, but if we took you out of the equation, like you get paid on your own personal performance, no matter how good or great you are, if we took you out of the equation and your business still thrives, well, that's not for you. Now you know that you've got to work. Now let's look at the other different career from home vehicles you have to choose from. A large business owner or franchise. Large business owner with over 1,000 employees. Franchise opportunity. One more falls under this category, but I'll hold back. I'll be back to it in just a little bit. So the pros and cons. So here we go. You can work from anywhere and are not limited by geographic location. Whether you're there or not, you still get paid. Has huge amount of leverage, great tax advantages. Cons. High startup costs, lots of risk involved, expensive renewal or franchise fees, have to deal with shareholders on top of client and customers. First, let's look at the qualification you must have just to own a franchise. Let's use McDonald's for example. Here's the link where I found the information in case you want to review this. In order to just qualify to start the process, you must put a minimum of 25% down of your whole cost to buy an existing restaurant and a minimum of 40% down payment from your personal resource to get a new McDonald's. By the way, the minimum of 25% equals $750,000 just to get started. How about KFC? Now for KFC, the minimum financial requirements to open a KFC Taco Bell in the United States is $1.5 million net worth and $750,000 in liquid assets, plus a total investment between 1.3 to 2.6 million to build, operate, train, etc. your new acquired franchise. Or what about Subway? As for Subway, it's a little more affordable. Anywhere between $115,000 to $258,000 will get you up and running. So now, to the last one that falls into this category, under franchise and large business, but I consider it more of as a small business with franchise and big business leverage. I call this one the advanced leverage system, the business missing one. Remember I said I'd be back to the other one? That's the other missing one. So the pros. The power of low risk, low overhead and leverage way. A way where everyone helps each other, a leverage way where you are being compensated for the efforts of not just yourself, but also others. Some people call this network marketing, some call it multi-level marketing, and I like to call it an advanced leverage system or an ALS. The reason that I love the advanced leverage system is you're in it low risk, low overhead, and it's a very powerful way to build a massive amount of not just financial freedom, but also time freedom. Leverage creating systems for you to get paid over and over using other people's time. Just as money is a form of leverage when you use to hire someone else to help you produce results for your overall goals and residual income. The cons. Because there's so much potential, many scammers have launched their own version, however are not legal. Another con is sniffing and sorting out to find out the legal distribution companies versus the illegal pyramid schemes can be time consuming and daunting. Such a low risk investment anybody can try, and many fail because of lack of business understanding, discipline, work ethics, guidance, action plan, etc. Trading time per hour will always limit you as there's only a certain amount of time and you cannot create more. It's a limited resource. Therefore, based on what you've learned so far, would it make sense that the only industry where you have an unlimited potential amount of income for the lowest amount of risk is in sales? You guessed it right. Yes, it is. People usually take one step ahead and ask me this very intelligent question. Now if the advanced leverage system is so good, yet there's so many scam artists, how do I protect myself if I want to choose that vehicle for my career from home? Which I usually answer, glad you asked. This brings me to my next point. Here are the key factors for choosing the right company. So now that we all know that the ALS has a lot to offer, including residuals and the leverage, but we are also aware that scam artists are out there with illegal pyramids to scam us. So what do we do to maximize our research to identify the best company to become sales representative out of the thousands of opportunities out there? Simple, by keeping in consideration these factors. Company's history, let's face it, over 10 years, it shows stability. Most business fails within 5 years. So, rule of thumb is, if it's less than 5 years, chances are they will not be successful. Financial track record, you gotta have a look at that. The ownership and management, customer service, marketing, timing, trends, unique consumable products or repeat services, methods of payment, competitive pricing, balanced compensation that is ethical, morally correct, and rewards newcomers and leaders. Are there real customers? Low personal production requirements, training, team and support. Are they listed with the Better Business Bureau? Are they listed with the Direct Selling Association? What are the risks? Once you've assessed all the key factors, how do you choose the right company to partner with? Well, again, you can have a look at it. Here are some of the criteria you want to keep in mind. Does it have a huge expanding market? Something that it reaches and is available worldwide. Where do you prefer to market, online or offline? Let's face it, a company could be perfect in our due diligence, but if it's selling an outdated product such as records or 8-track tapes, you wouldn't be too successful in business. Nothing personal, it's just that that market is obsolete. Unique repeat product or services. This is something that you must have. Something that gets people to pay for it again and again, every single month, etc. What's your internal ALS competition? What's your external competition? Timing in the trends. 65% of the money is controlled by the baby boomers, which were born between 1946 and 1964. What is the timing of the opportunity? What's the company's stability? Let's look at leverage. A way to get results using other means than your own efforts. Example, $5 million invested in the banks at 10% gives about $41,000 per month in leverage residual income. You're leveraging your money to work for you. Now in here we're using other people's leverage to work to your advantage. So keep that in mind. A way for you to benefit from work of many people doing a little but consistently. So it's kind of similar to an employee, except every single one of the employees, so to speak, have their own opportunity to become as successful as they want and are not limited by trading time per dollar. What about the training, the team, the support? How to leverage the online marketing aspect as well as the traditional way? What about the leadership? This brings me to my next point. According to the Direct Selling Association in the US alone, the direct sales industry reaches over $29.56 billion. Here are a couple sources that you can review. Now Robert Kiyosaki also says, only one of these 4 types of people's attitude will have success in this business. Which one do you think it is? Right. They must be right. They went to school, they know everything, and you can't teach them new things. Comfortable. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world, they prefer watching TV, playing video games, basically have a nonchalant attitude, kind of meh, whatever. Liked. They want to please everybody, need somebody else's approval, they want to be the nice person, kind of, I did the right thing, you like me, don't you? And then winner. The business of the 21st century is for people who must win. They understand that their financial future is in their own hands. They understand that success takes sacrifices. That when they get knocked down, they must get back up because they know the economy keeps moving now, no matter what. Is it possible for everyone to win? Yes, it is a level playing field. However, you got to commit to it. It will not happen for nothing. This network marketing option is the best shortcut, and for it to work, you have to say, I will dedicate 4 years of my life. Look at the leaders in the lifestyle they choose to have, and you have to say, those are the people I want to be like, and I want to help other people do what I want to do and win in life. If you are going to choose the vehicle of the average leverage system, there's something else that's extremely important for you to be aware of. This is the big picture that will determine if you're successful or not in your career from home opportunity. Are you man or woman enough to handle the truth? Over 90% of people will fail in this ALS because of the lack of understanding of the big picture. If I can ask you to remember only one part of this whole presentation, this has to be it. Pay very close attention as this will make or break you. I've come up with a chart, a diagram, so to speak, that visually shows you the different methods of marketing an advanced leverage system, and people who succeed are the ones who can master the 3 phases. Here they are. So this is what I like to call the MLM sponsor timeline. So the line goes straight all across and is divided in 3 sections. So the first one is called new prospect. This is phase 1. Is when the people are in business, they have to make sales to people. Therefore, they have to find potential buyers. So basically here, they have to see some sort of presentation about the industry, giving value. Now from here, after that, they get to see what they call a company presentation. And then after that, this is where they do the 3-way with their mentor to answer all the questions. And then finally, the sign up or the sale. Now this falls under the prospecting and enrollment section. Now section 2, that's section 1. Section 2 is the training. So here the new person that did the sale, the new prospect, or now the person, the new recruit, or whatever you're going to call them, they have to sign up for their services or products, whatever it is, to qualify for future commission. And then here you have them take a step to sign up to your training. Now here's the next part where everybody gets lost, confused, and never past this step. And that's what you have to know if you are entering this business or this career from home opportunity here. You got to be very aware of this part. Now the next step goes like this, and it goes back down here. And I will explain what all these are in just one moment. I'm just gonna... Now everybody is different. And there is different approaches and different channels to market your product or service. Now you can make your own leads through internet. And this is a topic that you can spend a lot of time trying to learn about. You can buy phone leads. In this case, buying phone leads, that's not the hard part. Is learning the wording and how to talk to them. And that's something that can be learned. That's why it falls under training. You can talk to your warm market. Now the warm market is what everybody in the industry calls your friends and family, or the people you know. Again, there are specific words that you can use. There's methods and techniques how you can handle conversation without harassing or without burning bridges. Something that's very important that most people forget. When they get exposed to this, they just go quickly in this section here and they don't have the proper training, and next thing you know, they put pressure on friends and family, and that's not what should happen. People should not pressure anybody in anything. That's the wrong way of doing things. The other section here is webinars, and then you have internet marketing over here, and then you have the door-to-door sales here. Now all this, if you notice, it all goes back up to that center line right here. It goes back here to the last one that says go to work. Now this is what people can have a lot of fun with, is in this part where they get to talk to people, or this is where the people will actually hate it. Either or. But like we said earlier, we're working to try to get our means to an end. We're working whether we like it or not. We have to work to pay for the things that we like. Now what I'm showing you is a vehicle that in 4 years that you can retire afterwards. Like they say, it is the shortcut, but you have to dedicate your 4 years to work, not just fall under the training section, which most people do. You have to actually fall under the go to work, and your goal should be to prospect at least 100 people per week. This is what I call the business plan. If you don't follow this and you cannot follow this, then this system is not for you. I'm telling you right up front. If you're not willing to achieve and put your time here, you will fail at this, and this is not for you. So you have to be aware of this, okay? So out of those 100 prospects per week, your goal is to aim at 10 presentations a day. And when I say presentation, I mean the ones over here where you're giving value to people. You have to give time. You have to teach them. You have to educate them. It could be one by one, or it could be in a webinar or teleseminar. It could be in a living room with a bunch of people in there. I don't care how it's done. It has to be presented in front of at least 10 people. That's your target. That's your goal. Another step over here, consistency and follow-up. They are key. So you don't want to get emotional. Example, if you say to somebody, I have a great service or product, and they say, I don't want it, that's fine. You don't say, whoa, buy it, buy it, buy it, because that shows desperation and need. You don't want to be needy. If somebody says, I don't want it, just say, no problem, I'll follow up with you. Is that fine? That's great. Okay, 6 months later or 3 months later, just give them a follow-up conversation. Just say, hey, Just following up with you. How are things? Are you interested in taking a look at this now? Yes or no? No? Great. I'll follow up with you later. And then move on. Carry on. Do not attempt to put pressure on anybody. That's just not right. So don't get too emotional and just keep doing your job and it will pay off. Now when I say your job is not to train yourself and try to figure out all these different methods. Your job is to get out there and do the presentation. Aim at 10 presentation a day. Present it to 10 people a day. Could be 10 hours or 30 minutes a day, depending on which method of approach you are using. And the results will be exponential. That's your job. Now here, your long-term goal is to personally sponsor or recruit or sell 100 people over the next 4 years. Now, when I was in the life insurance industry, in the business, after a while you become good at what you do. So you can sell people by educating them on different things. I was able to show 3 presentation of life insurance, and out of the 3 educational presentation, I would get 1 client that said, you know what, I think this is useful for me and I would like to get more information. How can I get started? And then I'd be like, whoa, well, glad you asked. Here's how you get started. So again, once you become good at something, your percentage of sales will increase compared to the amount of people that you meet. And then over here, the line comes back to new prospect, cycle, restart. So your job, when you're figuring this all out, is to take that new person, bring him over here, all the way in the back over here, start him. You gotta do this. You gotta introduce them. You gotta make him go through these. You gotta make them train. Say, hey, what kind of person are you? What kind of strategy do you like better? This, or this. Figure out which one is good for them. Get them the right training for this, for depending on what kind of personality they are. And then get them to work. And then also, don't forget yourself. You still gotta work, but they gotta have the same goal as you in that sense. Everybody's independent of their own success. Everybody's responsible for their own business. Everybody's responsible for their own career from home. This is how simple it is. Yet people forget, or people do not know the master plan, which is this, all of this together, and people get stuck in sections. And because people get stuck in sections, especially over here, they never go to this section, which is go to work. Therefore they don't earn a living, they can't afford it, they don't make money, and therefore they quit. And when somebody quits, it's not the career that's failed, it's them. So if you make a commitment to this, you have to commit, again, like I say, 4 years to say, you know what, I will commit to this plan so I can retire, be financially free for life, achieve my own goals and dreams, or do whatever I want to do. If there's any time during the process where you find things difficult, just have a look at your plan. Where are you in the plan? Are you doing the right things? Yes or not? This will make the difference for you in the big scheme of things. So that's what you got to keep in mind. So basically, the chart looks like this. So you start over here. Okay, it goes all the way down to here. And then here it restarts all the way here. It's a big circle. It's a cycle. Just keeps going and going. This is at the most simple level of the career from home. So now that we know there's different approaches to build a direct sales business, or MLM, or any kind of advanced leverage systems out there. Now let's focus on the advanced leverage system to build it and market it. Let's go in more detail of the training. That's what I want to let you know about. Let's focus on the advanced leverage system. Word of mouth to friends and family. Funded proposal where you promote yourself as an expert. Promoting your opportunities, replicated mirror sites only through PPC, social medias, etc. Buying leads and sell over the telephone. Hosting live events like seminars in hotel rooms or teleseminars, webinars. Door to door. All of the above approaches have been proven to work over the space of time for one or another, but not for everyone. Most people are taught using only one approach, and that approach may not be working for you for whatever reason. Are you or will you be using the right approach which suits your comfort level? Let's talk about each approaches in more detail and see what kind of personality you are and which techniques works best for you. Let's start with the word of mouth to friends and family. Here are the pros. Let's face it, the closer you are to your friends and family, the easier it is to ask for personal favor to help you in your company. This approach is best suited for leaders amongst their peers. You know, the person that always hosts parties, hosts dinners, and people always go to their places, the one that can ask pretty much anything and people are always willing to help them. Those are the guys that usually works best for. You have an endless supplies of leads because you get your friends and everybody else that you know, and then they give you recommendation. Usually works well with excitement and hype. More hands-on, more involved, build great rapport and relationships. The company replicated website mirror sites works well for this audience. So this is all good stuff. It's good. Now let's have a look at the cons. Because money is involved, you recommending a specific service or product is now biased. You now have a personal gain for people to take specific action, therefore your recommendation is not or may not be taken seriously. Oversaturation. If you've been an opportunity seeker and or have tried more than one opportunity in the past, your friends and family may now be reluctant to whatever you say when it comes to your personal money advice. After all, you've been talking about making money for a while yet have nothing to show for it. If too much hype, it may play against you depending on your personality. It may come across as fake or not being you. Second option, the funded proposal where you promote yourself as the expert. Here are the pros. You set up an online presence, build a website, offer great information, also offer paid products. People find you online, they're pre-sold. You don't have to sell people on who you are because they already know they found you. Once the system is up and running, your website, videos, and articles answered pretty much all your prospect questions. The ability to offer products counteracts the money you spend in advertising, therefore making you money or breaking even before you get people interested in your back-end product. Benefit from all the other forms of word-of-mouth marketing, as when people research more information, they may stumble upon you and follow you instead of someone else. So I'm referring to when somebody making research online, let's say somebody says, hey, this product is great. Oh, really? Let me make my research. They go online, then they found you that says, oh yeah, this kind of product is awesome because XYZ. And then they might say, well, hey, you seem to know more, so I want to, buy from you instead. So that's what I mean. So this is best used for someone who is shy, doesn't talk too much, and needs time to write or compose a message. This approach is less on the fly, therefore allowing you to double check, reread, re-record, etc. It's best suited for introverts who enjoy researching and writing reports, article, video log, etc. Here are some of the cons. This is very, very time consuming and energy to create up front. If you don't know how to set up a website and are unfamiliar with hosting your own website, it will cost you lots of time and money and energy to get this up and running on your own. You need to learn how to do ad copy, copywriting, get merchant account, to process payments. You must have some sort of knowledge to be able to present yourself as an expert. Replicated sites, mirror site won't cut it for search engines. But again, everything can be taught, so that's not a problem, but those are just things to keep in mind. Third, promoting your opportunity only through pay-per-click and social medias. Pros. This approach allows you to promote directly your corporate site without the need to create everything yourself. That sounds great. Here are the cons. This approach worked well in the past. Now the major search engine pay-per-click, Google and Microsoft Ad Center, formerly known as Yahoo Search Marketing or Overture, have specific algorithms that make duplicated sites almost impossible to list. The only two ways now is to get a second-tier search engine pay-per-click, which the quality of the traffic is sometimes or often questionable. You can't track who buys on your company's website because most of them are called replicated or mirror sites, which means that every representative has the same site as you. The only difference is your picture and your personal contact, and they don't have a back end where you can put some line of codes in it to keep track. The only other way is to create your own blog, which is time consuming, and you still need a technical skill set level to understand what you're doing. You can't track conversion, you end up paying more in advertising than what you would get in return. Plus, those mirror sites are online information brochure and converts very, very poorly. So you're going to spend a lot of money with not great results. Buying leads and selling over the telephone. Pros. People filling out surveys to get more information about home-based business opportunities or working from home are welcoming of your information. You can get many leads while not being too expensive, which gives you an endless supplies of prospects. It's easy to contact them. You don't have to drive. You don't have to be technologically advanced. All you need to know is how to operate a telephone and talk. There are different types of leads, from exclusive, semi-exclusive, real-time, fresh, and aged, generally offering different time ranges. Different price for each type of leads. This is best suited for someone who loves talking and interacting with people. Extroverts perform really well using this method. More hands-on, more involved, build great rapport and relationships. Cons. Some leads company overuse the lead, which means they sell too many people and get calls so often that by the time you call them they are annoyed. You must learn phone etiquette or talking to people. If you hate talking to people, then this method is definitely not for you. You gotta be careful when buying your leads. Some companies throw freebie leads. Example, if you fill out my survey, you can win this free digital camera, then they get bunched up and sold as leads. Those are bad. Can get pricey if you don't know what you're doing. You must be very committed to your work, hours, and extremely self-disciplined. Again, follow-ups are key in this one. Hosting live events, hotel seminars. Pros. Instant credibility, large crowd, easier to influence the masses, get to interact with people face to face, best suited for extroverts and works well with high price ticket items. Able to answer questions and answer live, right there on the spot. Cons, very pricey. Need to know where and how to get the hotel room. Not hard, but very time consuming. Lots of logistic involved. Need enough content to entertain large crowds. Not easily duplicatable. Gives a feeling of oversaturation in the market. People may or will think that they are too late in the game. Next one. Teleseminar, webinar. Presentation. Instant credibility. Easier to influence the masses. No need to dress up fancy or drive to the location. Not locally limited. Can do it from virtually anywhere. Able to answer questions and answer live. Cons. Must understand the technology behind it. Not meeting face to face. Need enough content to entertain people. Takes lots of planning mentally and physically. Lots of preparation. Must be sharp, quick, know your product, service, or information. Can be costly. You need upfront cash for your massive advertising campaign. You do not have the same large crowd effect because people cannot see what other people are doing. Next one, door to door. Pros. You can instantly target neighborhoods, which gives you an idea of their income level. Example, if you market a high price ticket item, go to big house residential homes location. If your product is to help people save money, target lower incomes neighborhoods, small townhouses, etc. There's always another door. Easier to stay focused because you're in the trenches, so to speak. You get to speak face to face with people. You burn calories, gives you a great exercise, and it's an awesome workout. Cons. Weather can be against you on certain days. Every step taken between houses is not really efficient time management compared to making dials after dials. But then again, every time the phone rings, you're just standing by also. You can only meet one prospect at a time. In summary, you are now aware and better informed to make your next step for your new career from home. You understand the difference between employee, contractor, investor, and business owner. Based on the career from home vehicles, the highest potential considering the risk versus reward is the one with the advanced leveraged system, also known as multi-level marketing or network marketing. That being said, you also know that it's not for everyone. You need to be very self-disciplined, have the attitude of a winner, and commit at least 4 years of your life and following the action plan to achieve the ultimate luxury lifestyle. You also learn where people fall under in the training section, so you have an idea of the master plan. You know where you're going, and you can see the pros and the cons of all the different approaches, and you can pinpoint which one is your favorite one, which one you want to learn, and go from there. So in closing, whatever kind of career from home you choose, I sincerely hope and wish you the absolute best. Now that you are better informed, you can make better decisions. You know what to expect and what not to expect. You are now armed with tools and techniques that has served many.